Hello, everyone. Very, 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 very welcome to all the new people, especially because I know that we haven't done a call for how many weeks? 2, maybe, because I was away 1 week. I can't even remember. We haven't done a call for a little while. So welcome if you are brand new, and it's exciting that you get to go on this call because I've got some very fun news. Even Kelly doesn't know about this because I only decided this morning. So this call, as usual, is primarily, I might just mute everybody. Sorry, I forgot. Just so that we don't have any feedback on the call. This call is our weekly Monday. I know it's Tuesday, but that's because we had a holiday. Our weekly Monday Q&A live call for you and anyone that you bring into, Woohoo, to come on and ask any question that you like. Okay. So I don't want anyone to feel like they are being annoying or asking a question that, is silly, because this is the whole point of this call. There's no silly question. And most likely, as I always say, probably somebody else is asking the same thing, but they're too shy to ask or whatever. So just please don't feel like you can't ask your questions. If I feel like it really is, say you're brand spanking new, of course you can still ask a question, but the likelihood is it's going to be answered in the course. Okay. So if I say to you, just go through the course, I'll tell you where to go in the course to find it. But if you know that you haven't been through the course yet, you may as well just ask that. You may as well just wait and ask me next week. Okay. So what I kind of say to people is, if you've been through the course and you've got a pad and you've got a pen and you can write down your questions as you go, most likely it will be answered by the end anyway of the course. However, if it still isn't answered and you still feel unclear or whatever, then absolutely bring that question to the call on a Monday. Now, it's at 8 o'clock, so hopefully most people can make it that time. If for some reason you absolutely know that you're not going to be able to make it and you really need to ask the question, you can send us that and we can put that into the call for the week and we can record it for you, go into detail for you, and then you can watch the recording. Okay, sorry, there's 2 people in the thing and it's not, it's Vanessa coming on. Oh, Vanessa, new lady that just joined this week. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. So what I will say to you though is I have got less than 1 hour left now. And what tends to happen is people ask their question at the end and I have to go because I do. So if you've got a question that you know that you're going to ask, don't leave it to the last minute and then go, oh, I'm finally got the courage to speak up. Just ask it. And if you really don't want to come on camera and you don't want to speak, that's fine. You can just put your question in the chat and we will go through that for you as well. Okay, so you've got all of that. Okay, so that being said, we'll get to questions in a minute. I wanted to give you some exciting news. Okay, I'm going to tell you the exciting news at the end. So you have to listen carefully to everything I say. So because I have 3 things that I'm going to talk to you about today. The most exciting things at the end that I know it's not going to be a boring thing that you're going to go, oh, that wasn't really worth listening to. It is going to be good. So please do, get excited for a good reason. The first thing I want to talk about today is Woohoo in the spreadsheet. Yeah. So what I'd like to say to you about the spreadsheet is most of you know what the spreadsheet is. We call it the fun spreadsheet. You all have access to that now, but what it really is a place that we track all of the people who are in Woohoo, free Woohoo group, okay? The free pink group that you all invite your people to. So the way it works is that you go out there and you do your daily tasks. You invite people to the group. Sorry, there's just so many people continuing to join the thing that I'm getting distracted. You invite your people into the group. Approximately 7 days later, yes, annoyingly, but it's nothing to do with us, it's Facebook delay, there is the welcome post that comes up. Now, most of you will know what I'm talking about. It's a post that comes up with about 300 names on it, which says, welcome to Woohoo group, and it's got like 300 names. Now, all of those people on that post are not people who have paid. These are people who are just coming in to find out what Woohoo's all about. These women have all been invited by somebody to the group, and it's a welcome post. I think most of you know what a welcome post is. We do not do that manually. We don't put everybody's name in that thing. That is a beautiful gift that Facebook gives us. That is a beautiful way for us to keep track of who has joined the group that day. Yeah. So once that post comes up, our admin, who is Julianne, who some of you know and some of you might be getting to know, she's lovely, really helpful girl that does a lot of work for us in the background. She takes that welcome post and painstakingly, and I'm talking about painstakingly because it's a manual process, she goes and looks up every single lady on that list, and she goes and she puts that lady's name into our admin back office of the Facebook group, and she looks up who invited that lady. Okay, so she will then say, great, Alita was invited by Carrie. Okay, and so that's when she puts Carrie's name on the spreadsheet next to Alita's name. Yeah, now the only time that that isn't exactly how it happens is if the lady, so say Alita, when she first joined the Facebook group, she answered the questions. I don't know, some of you may not know that there are questions, but there are. So there are questions that say, do you know who invited you to Woohoo? Or did somebody invite you? Let us know who that is. And that lady, so Alita, would have the opportunity to say, I was actually invited by my cousin Emma. Okay, so even though technically it's got Carrie's name there, actually Alita said, no, I was invited by my cousin. That's the reason I'm in this group. Okay, so we give precedence to Emma because she was the lady who actually physically or verbally spoke to. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. Anyway, the great news is that we've got this then spreadsheet which allows you to, at any time you want to, even on your phone, by the way, you don't have to have a computer, you can go into that spreadsheet and you can look up your name, because we save the list in order of inviter name. So you can look up, you know, Jacobeth, and you'll see, like, you'll have 10 names in a row, or 20 or 50 or whatever, right? However many people. And those names are the ladies who are in the Facebook group who have been invited by you. So you now have this beautiful list. Anytime you want, we're letting you've got the ability to see which ladies you need to be following up with, okay? And that is what you use to then do your checklist. Okay, so that's part of the checklist. So sometimes ladies come to me and they say, I've done my 30 days, I've invited people and I haven't had any sales. So I say, okay, let me have a look. And I look up their name and I see that they might have maybe 5 ladies in the group. Okay. Now, there's an expression in sales that says it's a numbers game. Okay. What that means is you have to have the number of people in order to make the sales. When we do marketing, we know that there are certain numbers you need in order to get a sale. And it tends to be, this is not perfectly accurate for everybody, because some people, like, you know, whatever, but in general, it tends to be, I've found, approximately for every 10 women who are in the group that you've invited, you will get one sale. Okay. Now, like I said, that's not absolutely, accurate, perfectly accurate. And Kelly, if you want to chirp in about this yourself, because I know you've got a lot of numbers in the group, so you can probably attest to this. But, and then of those 10 people that come into the group, you've invited maybe 100. Okay. So just because you've invited 100 ladies, don't stop there. Don't go, oh, well, I've just invited 100 ladies. That's it. No, you've got to keep on going. You've got to keep on inviting. And that's the whole purpose of the 30-day, just not the 30-day, the checklist, the 30 minutes a day checklist. And what you really need to be doing is getting that list, that checklist, which you can find in your notes. Go back to the original email that you were sent from Woohoo, and you'll find the checklist. Okay. In fact, Kelly, if you didn't mind, you could possibly put the checklist link in the WhatsApp chat now, just so that, but don't everybody go off and start going in the checklist, because you'll actually, no, don't do that, Kelly, because otherwise you won't concentrate on what's coming. So I want you to learn this bit. But the point is, you can go into that checklist and you can get the names of those people, and those are the people who are the gold dust. They're the gold. They're your ladies, right? So what you're doing with the 30-minute a day checklist is you are encouraging those ladies, not personally by selling to them and messaging them and scaring them to death, but by doing the activities that we're teaching you to do. Those ladies will see what we're doing in Woohoo and be much, much, much more aware of what we're doing in order to get them interested enough to buy. So that's why we call it, you don't have to sell to anyone. I don't want everybody here thinking they have to go and get their list and start messaging this lady and sort of, trying to force her into doing stuff. That's not what it's about. Just follow the checklist exactly as we show you, and follow up with those ladies. Tag those ladies every now and again in a post, maybe that says, that, did you see this? Or remind people that it's existing, because they're not going to see, just because they're in the group, just because they accepted your invitation into the group, I can guarantee you, unless you do the 30-minute checklist and you follow what we teach you, those ladies will not see anything in the group. Because how many groups are we all in? And you never see a single thing. So it's only if they start to interact, or you interact with them on their Facebook profile, et cetera, tagging them, reminding them. That's how they're going to come to have, when they're scrolling at night or whatever, this Woohoo group popping up. They're not going to have it otherwise. Okay. So does anyone have any questions about that? You can unmute yourself. Hang on, invite. Can you unmute anybody or not? I'm just going to say, wait. Everybody should be able to, you should be able to unmute if you want to. Anyone got any questions about the spreadsheet, about the names, about anything like that? Emma's saying, yeah, that this is what Emma is like, one of our most successful, if not, yeah, I'd say you're definitely up in the top 5 most successful Woohoo women. So Emma's giving you a tip here. She says that you confirm the name from the spreadsheet. So you get the name, you know that that lady's yours. So you're not wasting time on other people's ladies. Welcome them into the pink group and tag them in the intro and the proof post, which are the 2 posts that we tell you to tag people in. Now, please, the other thing is, don't write a post and just say, welcome, Jenny. And then that's your post, because we're not going to let that in the group. We've got too many posts. So every day we have like maybe 50 posts or more. We can't have a whole lot of posts where it's just one lady saying, welcome, Carrie. That's the post. Welcome, Miriam. That's the post. I mean, it's a very boring post, okay? So if you really, really want to do that, you could maybe do a bit of why you love Woohoo, and then you can tag all your ladies together in that one post. Potentially we let you do that, but really that's not what the system has been set up for. The system is, like Emma said, if you go into the instructions, you'll see this. So it's not, you don't have to write it down even. But exactly what Emma said, you confirm, you get the name, you go into the pink group, you tag them in the intro post that you like. So you go into the comments of the intro post and you tag the lady. The way you tag is by doing the @ sign before their name. Because they're your friend, their name should pop up. If I try and tag a lady, it doesn't always work. But if you're the friend of that lady, it should pop up, okay? And then also tag them in the proof post. That's what Emma does. You can tag them in whatever post you like. You might like another post and you tag them in that post. So you can't, what you're trying to do is to nurture their interest, okay? And they've joined the groups, and now you're like, okay, fine. If somebody writes a post about the testimonial about how much she loves Woohoo and la la la, and you think, okay, I want my ladies to see this, they're not going to see it unless you tag them. But before you do that, believe me, it works 20 times easier or 100 times better if you do the checklist first, which is to go into that lady. So say it's, and Lady Jenny Smith, go into her profile first before you start tagging her in the post, and maybe comment on her latest post that she's got, like her photo, like her whatever. And then when you tag her, she's much more likely to see it, because that's how the Facebook algorithm system works. Yeah. Okay. That's enough of that. So now Heidi mentions, this is really good to hear, Heidi, thank you. She says, that's exactly how I was just watching Benedicta's posts until I asked her to send me the link. She never said anything at all. So that's really cool. So basically this is what these women are doing. They're watching you. So don't feel disheartened like, oh, nothing's happening. People are watching you, I promise you. People are watching the post. People are watching. So just keep up the activity and the results will come when you keep the activity. Okay. And don't lie to yourself in a way. If you think, I've invited so many people, look on the spreadsheet and you can see how many people you've got in that group. If you've got 5 people in the group, just get tough with yourself, because you're going to say, I don't have enough people in there. Why would I have anyone buying if I've got 5 people? Like, you can't, do you think shopkeepers rely on 5 people only to sell their stuff to? If they did, they'd go broke. Like, you have to be dedicated to the idea that you're going to work to a certain amount. We should even maybe work the number, but keep going until you have, I don't know, Kelly, what if you want to say, but keep going till you've got 100 ladies in that group, keep going until you've got whatever. So
all I was going to say is that I've had people sign up months after they've joined. They don't always necessarily join straight away. They could wait 2 weeks, 2 months, and they might sign up.
Absolutely, because they're watching, or the timing wasn't right. It's not a personal thing. They're not like going, oh no, I hate Woohoo, I'm not gonna. It's not that. And some people take a long time before they get, they see enough for them to go, finally, okay, I'm ready. I had a lady this morning, actually. Thank you very much, Kelly, for saying that. I had a lady this morning who messaged me and she said, I'm ready to sign up. So I looked to see, and she was invited to the group by Lou and Fam in February. And we haven't heard from her at all. And literally just 2 months later, she's text me, I'm ready to go. So I'm okay, fine. So I sent her Lou and Fam's link. So this is what's cool, right? Every bit of activity you're doing, that lady's in that group now. she is in that group in 2 months' time, in 5 months' time. We call it a pipeline in sales as well. So what you're doing is you're building this beautiful, list of ladies who at one point they'll either leave the group or they'll sign up. That's what I think the two options are. They'll either get so sick of it that they'll leave, or they'll be like, you know what, let's go. So just remember that you're building you're building a list of people who are your potential clients to come. Just because they don't say yes straight away the minute that they join the group, don't get all upset and think I'm giving up. Because if you do and you've gone, then you won't, we can't find you in the group anymore. That's it. Well, you're not going to make the sale. So don't do that to yourself, because you can have success. It's just a matter of having realistic expectation. Okay. And don't compare yourself to other people, that just because that social media is just one big FOMO. Okay. It's the most annoying. That's why I don't have it on my phone, as I told you all, because I don't want to know what somebody's fake life. I mean, it might be a real thing that they're showing you, but it's just one little tiny snippet in their life. And don't look at everybody else and think, oh my gosh, they're all having all these sales. Why aren't I? Why aren't I? No, what the question is you need to say to yourself is, how many people have I genuinely invited? How dedicated have I really been? And how many people have I got in the group? And don't feel sorry for yourself and say, I've invited so many, I've only got 5. No, just keep on inviting more, but preferably do the training that shows you how to find the right people. Okay. Believe me, there are so many people in your country and in the world who are looking for this. Okay. It's really, you've got to get yourself into a mindset of how huge this market is. Don't focus on the 2 friends that you told at the, shops today about it, and they both went, oh, that sounds like a scam. They're not your target audience. Okay. They're not the people that are going to be interested. How do you find the people that are going to be interested? They're already part of this industry. That's really the people who are the best people to go for. Okay. So I'm not going to go into that too much because of time, but that is in the training. That's what you can learn. So really just get, not sorry for yourself. I don't mean, not that, to be honest, I'm saying this as though there's a whole lot of people who are sorry for them. It's not that. It's just that I know what our mindset can be like sometimes. So I'm just giving you that bit of a boost, because I want you to feel like, you're doing a great, great, great job. It's incredible job. But I want everyone to feel good. And I know that there are some of you who are feeling like everyone else is doing better than them. And that's, yes, some people are doing well, but there's a reason. There is a reason. Like, it's not a fluke. It's not just a complete fluke. So either the person is doing really well because, maybe she started further ahead than you. You've started your journey online marketing today, or, this week. Some ladies are joining this, and this is the most exciting thing. You can come from no background at all, and within the next 2-3 months, you'll be like, oh my gosh. And this is why I love it, because it's an absolute level playing field for anyone. But you do need to do the work. You can't just expect it to come out of the sky. Okay. So, Desert Rose, lovely comment. You will be amazed when you check in on your ladies. Most are confused or have questions they need to be answered before they sign up. Absolutely. So this is why I have said to before, even the ladies that say I'm ready, don't just message them and plonk your link and go, here you go, thank you, give me the 30 bucks, you know. No, start the conversation like you would like someone to start the conversation with you. Okay, don't just go, oh, you said you're ready, here you go, where's your cash? Like, say to them, I saw that you said that you were ready to join Woohoo, you know. Do you want me to send you my link, or do you have any questions? That's it. You know, just be a nice, not that you're not nice, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get in this money world, all of a sudden we forget what we would do in normal everyday life. Like we sort of, we that person becomes a kind of just someone behind a screen or whatever, but we're just all people, and we're all just wanting to help that lady, because if you don't help her to sign up, she's not going to change her life for the better. So that's the responsibility you have, really, is to be the most kind of, think of it in a, not about I want money, but about I'm so excited for her to find out what this is, because she's going to miss out otherwise. Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly check. Are there any questions I've missed, Kel, that I should be answering?
Not that I can think of, no.
Not that you can
No,
see in the chat, I mean.
not that I can think. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So that's the spreadsheet, guys. So I will pop it in the chat for us after, but you should all have the spreadsheet by now anyway. And just so you know, again, I'm just going to quickly remind everyone, there is a 7-day delay. So if you've invited someone, they might be already in the group. You know they're in the group because you saw it, but they're not on the list. It's only because we have to catch up to Facebook, or Facebook has to catch up to us. And then so that's the only reason they're not on the list yet. But if you keep that list as a consistent you know, you reference it, then you'll see that you'll get this list, and, you know, there's no panic. They're still in the group, you know, just because they're not on the list yet. But you know that you're going to just do that every day, and you'll catch up to the people that are on the spreadsheet, and make sure that you haven't missed anybody. And like Desert Rose said, a lot of these ladies, you know, they still need you to explain a little bit. And if you don't need to explain in as much as, you don't have to start going into a big long back and forth telling them, selling to them, no. But just ask questions like, you said you're ready. Did you watch the presentation? Maybe, yeah. And if they say, no, I didn't, I thought I just had to say I'm ready, or whatever, say, you know what, I think the best thing to do is I'll give you my link. It's got the presentation. Take the time to watch that. And when you're ready, you've got the payment link right there. Okay. So you don't need to start explaining it to them and trying to work out how to explain it and all of that. No. But just ask the question to check that they even have a clue what it is, right? So that's what I would say. Okay, good. Now, next thing to talk about. Oh, yes. Okay. So, guys, when you make a sale, please do me a big favor and use that as a post. So the best posts, and the ones that get people the most interested, of course, because everyone wants to see proof, are the proof posts. So a lot of you do it already, but if you make a sale, don't keep it to yourself, you know, shout it from the rooftops. There's 100 people or more or whatever every week making sales. Like, come into the group and say, I've just made my first sale, I'm so excited, or I've just made my 7th sale, or whatever. But do share that, because that proof is the biggest thing that can sell for us. Okay. So we want it to be genuine, real, honest proof. Don't, you know, nobody make anything up, obviously. But once you make a sale, it's great. Now, the other thing I'll ask all of you is, there are 55 people on this call. We currently have 21 21 Facebook reviews, i.e., just because you haven't made a sale even doesn't mean you can't share your opinion of Woohoo. Yeah. So It's up to you. I don't want you to feel pressured, but it would be amazing if every one of you could write a Facebook review after this call, and I can pop the link in there again. Literally, all you're doing is saying, yes, this is a legitimate business. Okay, so you can add your additional thoughts. You could say the community is so special, but nobody do a negative, positive. In other words, I've been with Woohoo for 30 days and I love it, but I haven't made a sale, because that's not going to be, you know, helpful to people, because they're going to think, what's happened? Well, I didn't get it, you know? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're not going to leave a really positive, great review, like, don't bother. But if you are going to leave a positive, great review, obviously 5 stars, then we would love to continue to build those reviews, because people are watching this. This is what they do. All of you have read reviews. I don't ever go anywhere, any hotel, anything at all, without reading reviews. I don't buy a printer without reading reviews. This morning I was trying to buy a printer, and you know, because my one broke, I read all the reviews, and you don't only read the positive ones, but you know, if you've got, it helps. That's it. So just please do that. Because we've only got 20 reviews. We should have 100 reviews. We really should. So if you can write that, that would be so good. Let me know if there's anything I need to cover off, Kelly, in the chat.
Answering all the questions in the chat, to be honest with you.
Okay, if there's any question that sounds like it should be shared, like
Yeah, no, I will.
question for others to hear as well, just let me know, and then you can answer it maybe verbally if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think just in case we run out of time, I want everybody to, anyone that's got a question that they want to speak, please unmute yourself now and we can answer those ones. Anybody got a question? Don't be shy. There's still people joining the call, which is really nice. It's great. This is 56. This is more like it, guys. Come on this call each week, because it's so funny, isn't it, Kelly? Every week I always think it's going to be just the same thing, because how can you possibly have something else to talk about? And we always have something really, some nuggets to go through. So it's really worth it just to keep yourself motivated and connected and feel like we're all real people, you know? Like, it's easy to get hidden behind the whatever posts and stuff, but come on here and actually see the faces of all the people and really see that you're part of something that's a pretty darn amazing mission that can really help a lot of people, you know? So if you want to put this in your diary for every week, like I would say, it's a great thing to have. I have a team call every single week with my day job. We have it every week. And every week it's the same sort of stuff, but every week it's a great boost to remember that we're all working towards the same goal. And it's a really great thing to participate in. So I'd say we should have 57 on every single week's call. Not when you're just excited to hear what news I've got for you. And don't forget to remind your new people when they join, like, this isn't your responsibility to hold everybody's hand, like, and absolutely spend hours trying to teach someone. Of course, you don't want to just leave them, like take them, you know, take their money and go, thanks and see you later. But you don't need to be doing huge amounts of heavy, time consuming, you know, work. Say to them 3 main things. First of all, before you ask me any more questions, go through the course till you've finished. Write your questions on a paper. If you don't know the answer, come to the call live on Mondays every week. Of course, like, don't, you know, you're not gonna, nobody here would be horrible to someone, but if someone's really asking questions, you know that they haven't done the course, say, look, in the nicest possible way, I want you to understand how this system works. This system is there for everyone to have success. And if you have to start spending hours trying to help someone, they're going to think they have to do that themselves and they don't. So we just point them
Which
always
link
back
did you
to the
give?
course and also to this live call. This is where they
Oh.
can come. Okay.
Oh,
Does anyone want to ask anything? I want to quickly remind again, sometimes you put a post up in the group and it isn't approved. It's not because we don't like you or any of that. It literally is because we approve the posts once a day. And sometimes there's like 50. So every now and then, like some posts we can't put in because there's just too many of the same thing or whatever. So don't let it put you off. I try and put as many posts as I can in there. But we have to be a little bit careful too with the wording of some posts. So we just have to be careful because there's a lot of people out there who are scammer type people and are doing dodgy things. And Facebook has their bots. They're like the little automated, they read, like ChatGPT, they read posts without us even having to, they're reading everything. So if there's anything in there that sounds a bit scammy sort of thing, they might, Facebook denies your post. So it might not be us. It might be Facebook has said, sorry, we don't want that stuff on Facebook. And it's not because we're dodgy or anything, but they don't know. The bot doesn't know. It's just trying to work it out. So sometimes it's just about the way you wrote the post. Could be a little bit too like talking about making money and quick and investment and cash. And I've made all this money and all that stuff. That could be why it gets denied as well. Okay. So sometimes, you can just put the post could just be the picture showing the money that you made. And then the text that you write in the thing you don't have to go into it all. You could just sort of show the picture. Okay. I have been getting the question, by the way, from people, if somebody doesn't have a Visa card, can they still join? They can. What I would recommend is a couple of things. First of all, they could pay you the cash. So you can give you cash money. They can give you a bank transfer. You can do that between you. And as long as they're happy to, then you set them up. And what you do is you take your own link. So you go to your link, your affiliate link that you guys have all got, your own one, and you make sure that you get their name correct, the spelling. The email address is the absolute most important thing, because if that isn't right, they won't get the emails from us, so they won't even get their login, but we can't change it later. So we have to set them up again, and it's a complete and utter pain. So please don't do that. Every time we have to set someone up again with a new account, we have to pay a charge. So, we don't want to be doing this unnecessarily. And when someone gets a refund as well, I didn't know this, but apparently someone said that they got a charge off the refund. So it's not a great thing. So just be super careful. Like, just make sure that the email address is absolutely correct, and maybe send them the email address on digital before you do it. So can you just double check this email, and then you can set them up. Okay. So that's if somebody hasn't got a Visa card, because, or they can just use their friend's one or their mum's one, whatever, I don't know. So, hopefully they've got someone that they trust that they can give the money to, and that the person will let them use their card, but otherwise you can do it for them. Okay. Which happens, there's quite a few people that do that. Now, why that's okay is because it doesn't matter what payment link is, card is used, because that card is not kept by us. We don't take someone's card details and put them in there and keep it. It's all done through System.io, who have got 100,000 members. So it's a very, very, very legitimate program. That's how come we only pay once a month, because the payments come through invoice. So every time we make a payment day, a payment pay run, I have to wait for System.io to send me all the invoices for that day. Okay, they do it once a month. So it's all extremely legitimate, very well run, very safe company. Okay, but it's a third party. So basically, yeah, can't remember what I was even saying that for, but just be careful when you put their details. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So even though they pay with a credit card, doesn't matter what they pay with, we pay out. So we give you our commissions
Sabi ko ta,
via
Ito-
PayPal or via bank transfer, as you know, okay?
Kami takit pa start minsan.
I've just got to mute
Kirap
whoever that is.
minsan. Bigoy sa ito, because sit down. Kami lo sumitrip lang.
I can't see who it is. Oh, I think it's finished. Thank you, whoever did that. Okay, so anyone got any questions? Great, Janet. Janet signed someone up using that method and it works well. Okay, great. Christine, just send me a DM about that because depends. So just send me it. I can probably do it beforehand. It should be fine. But you can wait till May as well. It's up to you. I'd probably have your invoice sitting there. So it is possible I can pay you before, okay? But just send me a direct message. I might not get to it till later today, but I'll definitely look at it for you. And just remember that if you're getting bank transfer, it has to be a minimum of 50 USD.
Now you come outside.
That's to do with
Okay.
the PNG bank system. So it's not to do with me choosing that. It's to do with the PNG bank system. So if you want to be paid by bank transfer, you're going to have to wait till you have a minimum of 50 US dollars in there before we can transfer the money to you. So I had one lady, it was like $49.50. And I'm like, oh, I think I actually ended up, I can't remember if I ended up doing that, but I was thinking I should just pay that one. I'll round it up to the 50 cents. But in general, it's got to be 50 USD. Otherwise, PayPal. With PayPal, guys, just because you've got a PayPal account doesn't mean it's going to accept payments through. So sometimes, most of them seem to go through okay, but some of you have got a PayPal account, but you haven't attached any card to it or any bank details to it. So the PayPal doesn't work. So if I try and send you money through PayPal, it comes up with an error message. Okay. So, and also you don't really need to worry about this really until you make a sale. Once you've made a sale, you'll get an email from System.io saying, you know, woohoo, you've made a sale. Or won't say woohoo. I think it just says congratulations, you've made a sale. Then it will tell you to go in and make sure you update your payment details. I would say to you, please go into the training of Woohoo, and it says there what to do when you make a sale. Okay, so it's all there for you spelled out. And I know it's clear because most people, 99% of everybody gets it right. So what I'm saying is, it is there. It's all clear and you should be able to do it perfectly well, okay? So Christine asked, can you use commission to upgrade instead of getting paid? Not at this present time, just because of the way the payments go, because it basically, one of them's done manually, the upgrades are done manually and paid out manually, and the other one is through the system and through the invoicing. So not really, unfortunately. Yes, you can invite anyone from any country, Heidi, pretty much, unless they don't have, I mean, yeah, the very short version is yes, you can invite anyone from anywhere. Okay, now who is ready? Put a 1 in the chat box if you're ready, because I'm going to see who's awake. For my big exciting announcement. I'm going to wait till I get at least 30 of you. Oh, 20 already. So that's good. Keep going. So 1 in the chat box if you're ready for my exciting announcement, which is very exciting. Now, I have had, and maybe some of you have been asking the question as well, what are the points that you get in the Facebook group? Now, if you know what I'm talking about, can you put a 2 in the chat box so I can see how many of you have any idea what I'm talking about? I'm just going to scroll down. So the Facebook points that you see, some of the ladies are posting, they're saying, I'm a, I can't think of the word for it now, but like basically it's a sort of, it's a reward system that Facebook gives us, which allows you to sort of see how active you've been in the group. Okay. So it will say, it will talk all about points and about how much, okay, let me just check how many have said 2. So not many people have been saying 2. Do you know what I'm talking about or not, guys? If you do, put a 2 in the chat box, please. Okay. So I'm just going to really quickly see if I can get the, give me 1 second, guys. Oh, whoops. Sorry. I'm just going to, my computer is a bit on the old slow. Wait 1 second. Okay. I'm just going to give you an example quickly. I don't know if you can see my screen. Tell me if you can see it, Kelly.
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. So can you see that I've got this post up saying I'm officially an all-star contributor? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. 5,000 points, pure sisterhood, shared stories and support. It's a badge to uplift women, la, la, la. Okay. Amazing post. Love it, right? So now I also we have got some women who come to me in chat. So I'm just going to stop showing that. We have got some women who come to me in chat and they say along the lines of, and you've probably had this maybe, Kelly, too.
Yes.
Do I still get paid? I've done my 30 days. Do I still get paid? And I'm like, well, did you make any sales? And they say no. And I'm saying, well, that's how you get paid. You get paid when we're affiliate marketing program. Every time somebody buys our course, we give you commission to say thank you for selling our course, okay? So the points technically are just part of the Facebook kind of experience. And the real thing about those points is for admin to see who is really active in the group, who is really commenting, who is making posts, who is helping other people, who is making the group better. Yeah. Who is making that Facebook group powerful because they're commenting and they're regularly doing stuff, right? That's what those points are to show admin. So you know what I thought this morning? I thought, you know what? We're going to reward you now for being active in the group, and we're going to use those points to give away prizes every single month. So the first month, the first prize that we're going to do is each month. I'm thinking of doing this. In fact, I'm positive we will, but we might refine it slightly. But for now, we're going to give 2 prizes, okay? The first prize is going to go to the highest points member of the month is going to get upgraded to the $50 level. Okay, so you're going to get the $50 course for free, which means that you don't have to pay for it. You're just going to get the $50 course. What does that mean to you? That means that you now have incredible training, which I promise you the $50 training course is so much more value than $50. But anyway, you're going to get amazing training. You're going to now be qualified at the $50 earning level. So if any of your people decide to upgrade to the $50 level, you get paid $25 per sale, okay? The other person that is going to get paid when you get upgraded for free, if you're the winner of this each month, is the lady who invited you to the group. She's going to get paid $25, but she's only going to get that if she is already on the $50 level. Okay. So in other words, she won't miss out on a sale, because otherwise people might say, oh, why, if you give away a $50 course, then I'm not going to get the commission. Well, yes, don't worry. So say Emma's on the $50. In fact, I think Emma, you're on the $100, hey? So you're going to be given, so just say one of your ladies is only on the 30, she wins the prize, she gets given a $50 course, you, Emma, will get paid $25 as well. Now, if Emma was not on that $50 level, nobody gets paid extra. That's just it. The lady is now upgraded to the $50 level and she can earn, okay? So that's the first prize. I hope that makes sense. The second prize is going to be the next highest points member, the next highest points of the month, who is a new member within 30 days. So it's somebody new. So if you have joined within the last 30 days, you will qualify to win that prize. Okay, so does that make sense? We're giving away 2 prizes every single month so that, you know, for new people who just join, they can win it the same as anybody else, because we make it super fair for everyone. So you can be a brand new person and you can just get going on your 30 days and you can win that prize, okay? And you will be earning $25 every single time somebody upgrades, and people are upgrading every single day. So just remember that you will only get that if you're already on the $50 level yourself. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone excited? I'm glad that we can use those points for something now, because I think it's just, you know, it's a fantastic, fantastic thing Facebook gives us. And we want to reward you if you're active and you're doing some stuff. So even if you make no sales that month, you can still win the prize. Okay. Good. I'm glad that you're happy. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, guys. So if you've got any questions, quickly uncentivize. I'm just read Emma's message and send. Unmute yourself and ask your question. Hi, Vanessa. Nice to have you here. I know that you only just joined. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Valene. I can't go through everybody's name. Thanks, Glor. Thanks, Emily. Some of you ladies are just the names. See, every single week you turn up to this call, and they're, you know, and it's not surprising that you guys are the ones that are doing so well, because you know, you're in it. You're not just sitting on the sidelines. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Esther. Thanks, Eunice. Thanks. Okay, so guys, if nobody has got any questions today, so this is the first time we've not had one single question. So I'm hoping that that means that you're all absolutely good to go. Oh, thank you. So is it Rimby? Is that how I say it? I'm glad that you came on, and every Zoom is like this. We always have something, we have a lot of information to go through, and just to give the extra bits, you know, that you can't always explain on the course, or on the course, you go through it. I don't think it hurts to go through the course again sometimes, like just to remind yourself of the little nuances. But if there's any suggestions, by the way, of anything you guys would like me to cover on a call, so maybe you don't have a particular question, but you just be like, you know, I really just feel like I need a bit more help around X, Y, and Z. Absolutely. I would be more than happy to have those suggestions, and I'm more than happy to carve out a slot on these calls to go through it and explain in a much more depth for some of you that would like me to. So that is also there. So this, just keep this kind of whole call to remember, this call is for you. You, absolutely, for all of you. Okay. So make it work for you, make it as good as you want it to be. And we can have so much success. It's exciting, and it's also empowering, and it's also, you know, I'm not going to say life-changing, but it actually is, because if your life changes because you actually wake up in the morning and you're excited about doing something, then That's life changing, hey? If it changes the life of somebody because they've got, like, someone did a post about some money that she had extra that she could go and buy flour and she could make some stuff for people. How amazing. Like, it's beautiful what we can do. So be proud of yourself to even be in it. You know, you guys, some of the first people of Woohoo. You know, we've only been going for like, the first paid member we got I think was in December. We're brand new. We're brand new. So the sky is the limit. And yeah, it was about the flower glow. I know, it was so cool, wasn't it? It was beautiful. Okay, so you've all got a reason to get active in the group. You've all got a reason to work for that, the prize. You've all got, now those points actually mean something, which I love as well. You all have got the job of writing us a Google review, a Facebook review. I'm going to put the thing in there. You've all got your spreadsheet. We're going to put the link in there. You can get on with that. You've got so much to get on with now. You've got direction. You've got everything. And I hope you all come next week as well. And make sure that you show up and just keep going and believing in yourself, because you've got absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain, as they say. Okay, look, guys, I'm going to have to go, but have a beautiful, beautiful evening. And thank you, Elizabeth, for your comment. And I'm sorry if I missed anyone's comment, but hopefully you all got your answers. And I'll see you in the chat, and I'll see you on the call next week. Love to you all. Bye. And I'll put the recording in there for you as well. Okay, see you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank